Hello dear children, good afternoon everyone, and once again welcome back you all to the online classes. So here you all know that now we are discussing about the 5th unit of your science part, that is food and nutrition, and in that we are now discussing about the 2nd chapter, diseases, a health hazard. Okay. And in this chapter already we have discussed about the diseases. So just we can recall about this. So disease is a condition when our body or some parts of the body does not function normally. So if any of our body organs, if they does not function in the normal manner, and such condition is called the disease. And when a person is affected by any disease, and then that person is called as patient. Okay. So these diseases are occur or they are caused due to the microbes, and these microbes are the microscopic organisms, so which can cause the diseases, right? The microbes or germs we can say. So but all the microbes which are present are not causes the disease. Many are useful also, so that we can divide the microbes into two categories. One is useful microbes and another one is harmful microbes. So useful microbes are very useful for us in the process of digestion, for animals, means other animals such as ruminants, as well as for the human beings and for other animals. So there some microorganisms or the microbes will be present in the intestine as well as in the mouth, and they help in the digestion of the food. And also some microbes, they will be help in the conversion of the milk into curd, and also for many kind of this penicillin. So penicillin is obtained from the penicillium. So likewise many microbes are useful to us, and some are harmful and they can cause the diseases, and they are called the harmful microbes. And even these harmful microbes are also called as pathogens or germs. So these germs can be transmitted through the air and as well as the water. So depending on the mode of transport, again they can be, so since they can be spread from one person to another, we can call the communicable diseases. Okay. So these communicable diseases, they can be spread. The germs can be spread through the air, water, food likewise. So these communicable diseases, depending on these mode of transportation, they are classified into the airborne disease, waterborne disease, and also they can be classified as the diseases caused by direct contact and the diseases caused by the animal bites. But in your class, for your syllabus, there are only two kinds of communicable diseases are there. One is waterborne disease and another one is airborne disease. So now the today's class, let me begin with the waterborne disease. So in this class we can discuss about the waterborne diseases in detail. Okay. So now we can begin with waterborne diseases. So you all know that the water is a very essential part of life. Yes, everybody needs the water, and it is a basic unit. Everyone needs the water, and our day begins with the water. Yes, with the use of water for brushing, the diarrhea. These affect the intestine. The diseases such as the cholera, typhoid and diarrhea, these affect the intestines of the animals or the human beings. Okay, so here these are the waterborne diseases, and some other waterborne diseases are there such as the jaundice and hepatitis. The jaundice and hepatitis A. So these are the waterborne diseases and these affects the liver. Yes. So see, these both the intestine as well as liver, they are the parts of our digestive system. So whenever we eat the food, so these livers, they secrete some digestive juices and help in the digestion of the food, and the intestine, it will help in the digestion of the food. So when these waterborne diseases, when we affected by these waterborne diseases, so these affect on these two organs of our body, the intestine as well as liver. So both are important organs. So if these organs are damaged, so sometimes it leads to the death also. That is the reason. So whenever if any person, if he get the disease of this kind, so we have to take the suggestion of the doctor. So under the supervision of doctors, we have to get a good treatment so that we can able to get rid of these diseases in a earlier, as soon as possible. Right? So these are some waterborne diseases. The cholera, typhoid, diarrhea. So these are the waterborne diseases. They affect the intestine, and the jaundice and hepatitis A, these are the waterborne diseases. They can affect the liver. And these waterborne diseases are the diseases, they can spread through the water. The microbes which can be enter the body by the water. And how these waterborne diseases are caused. So now we can discuss about the causes of waterborne diseases. The causes of waterborne diseases. So causes. What are the causes? The first thing is water from river or lakes. So when we dump some garbage in it, okay. So suppose if we dump the garbage means it is the kind of waste. So when we dump that waste in the water bodies such as rivers or lakes, so they are the fresh water sources. So when we dump the garbage or waste in such fresh water sources, they can spread the germs, because again those water from the fresh water sources only, we are having the water connection to our houses, and when we use that water, that will get contaminated and it will bring some diseases to us. And in some places what happen, they fetch the water directly from such sources of water or from those water bodies such as lakes and rivers and all. So that when we dump some garbage in that fresh water bodies, so there the germs will grow and these germs will spread the diseases. So the first cause for this is water from rivers or lakes. Water from rivers or lakes with garbage dumped in, spread germs. Okay, this is one. And the second one is when it is raining and when the water there. So if we wash the vegetables or fruits in the contaminated water, or we using the contaminated water for cooking purpose. So when we are cooking the food, if we use the contaminated water for cooking, then it causes or it spreads some diseases. So that the next cause is waterborne diseases are also spread by food which is washed or cooked in the unclean water. Food which is washed or cooked in unclean water. Unclean water. So many times I said we wash the vegetables and fruits in the contaminated water or unclean water, or sometimes we may use the unclean water for the cooking purpose. So when we use the unclean water for all these purposes, the waterborne diseases may spread through this. So that these are all the causes for the waterborne diseases. The first one is water from the rivers or lakes with garbage dumped in spread the germs, and humans and animals bath in the same water body. And the third one is food which is washed or cooked in the unclean water. So these all are brings the diseases. So these are the causes for the waterborne diseases. Now we can discuss some waterborne diseases. So some of the waterborne diseases and their symptoms we can discuss now. So the first one is cholera. Some waterborne diseases. The first one, cholera. So see, here the symptoms of cholera are stomach pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. So these are the symptoms of the cholera. So when a person is affected by the cholera, he suffers from stomach pain, the severe, and the vomiting. So oftenly the vomiting, and when the vomiting takes place, the water from the body will be loses, and the diarrhea. So the water stool can be ejected out. So by all this we will lose the water content from our body, and also it will affect the intestine of the body. So that in such cases the patient should require the immediate medical supervision. So in all these cases, if we get any symptoms like this, so you have to take the advice of the doctors immediately, as soon as possible. Okay, so this is what the cholera, and this is related with the this affects the intestine. Okay, and the second one is typhoid. So here only I can write the typhoid. So the symptoms of typhoid are high fever, headache and diarrhea, and in some cases the red rashes are also occur on the skin. So these are some symptoms of the typhoid. And the next one is hepatitis A. And these typhoid and cholera, they affect our intestine. And the hepatitis A. So this hepatitis A, so it affect our liver. So liver is the largest, affects liver. So this liver is the largest gland in our body, and this liver secretes a digestive juice called the bile juice. So liver secretes bile juice, and which is helpful for the digestion of fats. So the fat which we are eating, so oil, ghee and all, such kind of meats and all, so that will be digested with the help of this bile juice. And when a person is affected with the hepatitis A, so this affects the liver. So this hepatitis, this affects the liver, so that we have to take the suggestion from the doctor for this. And the symptoms of this hepatitis are diarrhea, vomiting, yellowing of the skin. The symptoms are diarrhea, vomiting, yellowing of skin, yellowing of skin, fever and abdominal skin, fever and abdominal pain. Okay. So here the symptoms of the hepatitis A. So hepatitis A affects the liver, and the symptoms of this hepatitis A are diarrhea, vomiting, yellowing of skin, the skin color turns to yellow, and the fever and the abdominal pain. So this digestive tract, there is the pain in the abdomen. So these are all the symptoms of the hepatitis A. So sometimes the patient may means they will be recovered, or the relapse in 6 months, or sometimes it may damages in the advanced stages. It may damages the liver. So we have only one liver. So if it damages, so we cannot survive. So that it is very necessary to take care of this. So if you find any symptoms of this, so immediately we have to take the advice of the doctors, so that we can take the treatments and all. So this is hepatitis A. And next we can discuss about the jaundice. And this jaundice is also affect the liver as hepatitis A. And this jaundice is also called yellow fever. The jaundice, it is also called as yellow fever. And here the symptoms of these jaundice are the skin will become yellow, and the fever, and also the body ache. Yellow skin color, fever and body ache. So these are the symptoms of the jaundice, and this disease is caused due to the improper functioning of the liver. Yes, so that the symptoms of this jaundice are yellow skin, fever and body ache. So these are some symptoms. So that these are what about the waterborne the airborne diseases. So, the germs which are present in the air. So, these airborne diseases, they are mainly caused due to the germs which are present in the air, and when the germs which are present in the air enters into the body, then we are affected by the diseases. So, they are called the airborne diseases, and these may caused by the major are the cough and sneezing when the person sneezes and all, and some of the diseases, these airborne diseases, they mainly affect the eye and the respiratory system. So mainly these airborne diseases, they affect the respiratory system as well as the eye, and some viral fever and conjunctivitis, and some the diseases such as the cough and cold and diphtheria and tuberculosis. These are some airborne diseases. So, what are the causes? How these airborne diseases will spread? The causes of airborne diseases are: the first one is when a person is suffering from some airborne disease such as the cough and cold. So, cough and cold means the symptoms of this are the running nose, yes, and sneezing oftenly and coughing. So, when a person sneezes or coughs without covering his face, so then when he coughs or when he sneezes, he expels some microorganisms through that, or we can say the germs. So, the germs will be expelled when he sneezes, and when these germs which are expelled by sneezing by an infected person, so they will be there in the air, and if those germs enter the body of the other person, then that person also get the diseases, the healthy person. So that likewise these diseases can be spread. And also when a person spits, so when he spit on the ground, so in that spitting also some germs will be there, so they will be enter the body of the other healthy person, so that they also get the diseases. So the causes of these diseases are the sneezing or coughing without covering one's face, without covering one's face. So without covering, if he sneezes or if he coughs, so then the viruses or any germs will be entered. And also spitting on the road, spitting on the road. So these causes the airborne diseases. These are the causes. And now we can discuss some airborne diseases. So in that the first one is the conjunctivitis. So this conjunctivitis, it is related to the eye. The conjunctivitis. And this is also called the sore eye. This is also called sore eye. So sometimes if the conjunctivitis, it is the airborne disease and it can spread from one person to another. And if the conjunctivitis is affected, if any person suffering burning sensation, burning sensation, and inflammation, and redness, and secrete fluid and become itchy, secretes fluid. So fluid will be secreted continuously and itchy. So these are some of the symptoms of the conjunctivitis, and it is last for 3 to 4 days, and it is also called as sore eye. And one more is the airborne disease. The common, it is cold and cough. Cold and cough is one more, the airborne disease. And here, if the person is having or suffering from the cold and cough, so the symptoms of cold and cough are sneezing. The symptoms are sneezing, the quite common it is, and running nose, sneezing, running nose, coughing, and in most of the cases the patient develop fever. So even in most of the cases, if it continues, the patient also get the fever, and it can last for 1 week. So likewise, so cold and cough, it is also a airborne disease, and the symptoms of cold and cough are sneezing. So we oftenly sneeze, and the running nose, the nose will be secrete the fluid, and also the coughing, and in most of the cases it will be develops a fever also. The patient may suffer from the fever, and it is last for 1 week. Okay, so likewise we can recover in the 1 week times and all. So these are some airborne diseases. Okay, so this is about the diseases, a health hazard. So with this I will conclude this chapter, and I hope you have understood this. And even though if you have any doubts or queries regarding this, you can contact